Hello, everybody. This is Amber. I just wanted to share my Chapter 3 Planning a Network Upgrade presentation with you all. I know I was supposed to do it last week, and as Dustin pointed out, I had some network issues, some bad timing. I work kind of strange hours, so I should have tested my computer before jumping on to give my presentation. I know better. I purchased a new computer because I'm technically a Mac user, but I went ahead and bought a PC so I could use for classes, um, and didn't realize that the mic and sound audio were not functioning on it properly. So I am using another computer and recording this for you guys, so I hope you enjoy. Anyways, I'll go ahead and start now. So, taking a look at network upgrade, um, the first thing that you're going to have to do when you're planning a network upgrade, it doesn't matter the size of the network, whether it's a small network, a large network, a home office, a small business, any of those things, you need to do a site survey because you're going to need to take a look at the number of users and the type of equipment that's already there, what type of growth they're going to have, the current internet connectivity. Does it have fiber optic or does it have something else? Maybe DSL or even dial-up if it's an older system. It's entirely possible. You also need to take a look at their application requirements, what the infrastructure is at that point existing, the security and privacy settings. Do you need wireless? Is it just LAN users who don't need wireless access? All of those things need to be part of your site survey. What kind of budget constraints? Because those can be a big deal for you stepping in to upgrade somebody's network. If they don't have a lot to work with, then you're going to have to take those into consideration. What type of wiring they are using, um, what their wiring setup at that point is. It also is you're going to need to take a look at the networking closet. What kind of equipment do they have in there? What are the conditions of that room? Is it small? Is it air conditioned? Is there proper ventilation? Because those rooms can get hot. All of those things need to go into your site survey, which is your phase one, your requirements gathering information. That's all part of phase one, and then analysis report that you make from that information that you're either going to provide to yourself for reference or to the group of people that you're working with on setting that up. Then from there, you would move on to phase two, selection and design. The devices that are currently there, the cabling, what devices you want to use if you're upgrading devices, if you're upgrading cabling. Um, make multiple designs because the first one may not always work. Weaknesses need to be addressed at that point. You need to take a look at maybe that first design or that second design wasn't quite what you needed, so you're going to make a third design. Test the prototypes. That's going to be really key because you need to make sure that's going to work for you. That network setup's going to work for you. For the user and analysis of whether or not it's going to work for them. And then from there, I kind of feel like phase 3, 4, and 5 all kind of go hand in hand because once you've done the first two steps, you're really just looking at implementation, getting the network up and running, and then evaluating it. Does it work? Is it functioning properly? Can everybody get online? Does that cabling work? Is the equipment staying at proper temperatures? All of those things kind of go hand in hand with your phase 3, 4, and 5. And then from there, that's you've got your network up and running. So those are kind of your basic phases. I also included some screenshots from the book to take a look at for when you're doing that site survey. You're looking at equipment before and the cabling before in the facility, so that you know how many rooms, what's the cabling structure look like. As well as here's your MDF layout, which is the wiring and equipment closet. This is where all of your equipment, your networking devices, and the main wiring are located. You'll see here your patch panel and things like that. In this room, routers and hubs and switches and all of those things may be located in this closet. Um, as well as looking at user work areas, the telecommunications rooms, your backbone cabling, your horizontal cabling, how that all ties in together, and then from there, looking at the type of cables. I just kind of included a quick screenshot and description of each of those. Some of them. This isn't all of them, but this is goes back to do they have fiber optic? Do they have coaxial? How long has it been since it was installed? Does it need to be replaced? Is it in the budget? If it does need replaced, is that going to affect the budget of what you use for purchasing equipment and things like that? And then from there, just including these all in your site evaluation, the patch cable, horizontal cable, vertical cable, backbone, cable management, and then also one of the really important pieces is your cable labeling system. If I'm coming into your network and I've never worked on this network or I didn't help set it up, I need to be able to come into that location and look at it and see that the labeling system makes sense. Can I go to it and say, oh, this looks great. Okay, I can trace this to this location and this location. Perfect. Here's where the problem's at. And I can come in and do that without having knowledge of that network. Cable labeling is pretty key. And then also electrical considerations of that facility and what can handle. From there, that's kind of your basic steps to upgrading a network and getting a new network set up, or not a new network, but a network with new equipment and things like that. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and thank you so much for listening.